Hi, I'm Dulcie. That morning started like any other Saturday at my salon. I was finishing up with Mrs. Hernandez, transforming her silver locks into a stylish bob that took years off her face. My husband Marco was helping at the front desk, filling in while our receptionist was on vacation. "You're a miracle worker, Dulcie," Mrs. Hernandez said, admiring herself in the mirror. "My grandkids won't recognize me." "Just enhancing what's already there," I replied, brushing a few stray hairs from her shoulders. "Your bone structure does all the work." The bell above the door jingled, and I glanced up to see my mother-in-law, Vivian, marching in with her best friend, Patricia. My stomach immediately tightened. Vivian's visits always came with criticism disguised as helpful suggestions. Marco greeted her with a kiss on the cheek. "Mom, what a surprise. Thought you were spending the day with Dad." "Gerald's watching football with his friends," Vivian said, scanning the salon with narrowed eyes. "Patricia and I were in the neighborhood and thought we'd stop by. I didn't realize you'd be working today, Marco. Doesn't seem right, making my son work weekends." "I volunteered, Mom," Marco said. "Dulcie needed the help." Vivian's gaze landed on me, specifically on my newly colored hair, vibrant purple balayage that I'd done the previous evening. "What on earth have you done to your hair?" she asked, her voice rising enough that my remaining clients turned to look. "Just trying something new," I said, keeping my voice light. "It'll wash out in a few weeks." "It's beautiful," Mrs. Hernandez interjected, sliding out of my chair. "Very artistic. My granddaughter would love it." Vivian ignored her. "You're a business owner, Dulcie. How can clients take you seriously looking like that? What kind of example are you setting?" Marco stepped forward. "Mom, not now." "It's completely unprofessional," Vivian continued, addressing Patricia but speaking loudly enough for everyone to hear. "No wonder the salon on Main Street is stealing her clients. Would you trust someone with purple hair to do your color?" "Actually, I would," Patricia said, looking uncomfortable. "Vivian, maybe we should—" "People will think you're corrupt," Vivian hissed at me. "Corrupting traditional values? Corrupting my son." My assistant stylist, Zoe, stepped up beside me. "Mrs. Alvarez, can I get you some coffee? Or maybe schedule you for a conditioning treatment? I've got time next Tuesday." "No, thank you," Vivian said coldly. "I wouldn't let anyone working in this establishment touch my hair." "Mom," Marco exclaimed, "that's enough." "I'm just being honest," Vivian said. "Someone needs to tell her." My last client of the day, Tara, approached cautiously. "Dulcie, should I come back later?" Before I could respond, Vivian turned on her. "You should find a better salon entirely, one with proper standards." That's when my friend and business partner, Elena, emerged from the back office. "Is there a problem out here? I could hear you from the storage room." "Elena," I said quietly. "This is Marco's mother, Vivian." Elena's eyes widened slightly. "Ah, the infamous Vivian." She extended her hand. "Pleasure to finally meet you." Vivian ignored the outstretched hand. "If you're Dulcie's business partner, you should talk some sense into her. That hair makes her look like a delinquent." Elena's smile didn't waver. "Interesting perspective. Did you know our revenue is up 30% since Dulcie started experimenting with bold colors on herself? Clients love seeing what's possible." "That's ridiculous," Vivian snapped. "Actually," Tara chimed in, "Dulcie's Instagram photos of her color transformations are why I booked here. I saw her purple hair online yesterday and made my appointment immediately." Vivian's face flushed. "Marco, we'll discuss this at Sunday dinner. You need to control your wife before she ruins her business and your reputation." As they left, Patricia mouthed sorry over her shoulder. Marco turned to me, his face pale. "Dulcie, I am so sorry." "Not your fault," I said, though my hands were shaking. "But Elena, did you record that on the security camera?" Elena nodded grimly. "Every word." "Play it again," Marco said, leaning forward in his chair. Elena clicked the mouse, and the security footage replayed on her laptop screen. The four of us, Marco, Elena, Zoe, and I, were gathered in the salon's back office after closing. The footage clearly showed Vivian's outburst, including her comments to my client. This isn't the first time, I said quietly, but it's definitely the worst. She's been coming into the salon and causing scenes? Elena asked, pausing the video. Marco ran his hands through his hair. She's always been critical of Dulcie, but usually behind closed doors. I've never seen her act like this publicly. This goes beyond criticism, Zoe pointed out. She told a paying customer to go somewhere else. That's directly interfering with your business. Has she done anything else? Elena asked, her expression serious. I hesitated, glancing at Marco. Dulcie, tell them, he urged. Everything. She leaves me voicemails, I admitted, usually after she's had wine with dinner, telling me I'm not good enough for Marco, that I'm an embarrassment to their family. Do you still have these messages? Elena asked. I nodded. I saved them all. I thought Marco might need to hear them someday. You never told me, Marco said, looking wounded. Because she's your mother, I replied. What was I supposed to say? Hey, your mom called me trash again while you were golfing with your dad? Yes, Marco exclaimed. That's exactly what you should have said. The office door opened and Tara poked her head in. Sorry to interrupt. I forgot my sunglasses. Tara, I said, standing up. I'm so sorry about earlier. Actually, that's why I came back, she said, stepping fully into the room. That woman, your mother-in-law? She followed me to my car after she left. Marco's head snapped up. What? She said I should tell all my friends to avoid your salon, that you were unprofessional and corrupt. She even mentioned something about health code violations, which seemed crazy given how spotless this place is. Did anyone else hear her say this? Elena asked. The woman she was with tried to pull her away, Tara said. She seemed mortified. And that older lady with the new bob was walking to her car and definitely heard everything. Mrs. Hernandez, I confirmed. I just thought you should know, Tara continued. I'm still coming for my appointment next week, by the way. I love what you did with your hair. After Tara left, Elena turned to me. Dulcie, this is defamation. She's making false statements that could harm your business. What can I even do about it? I asked. She's Marco's mother. Being family doesn't give her the right to harass you and damage your livelihood, Zoe said firmly. Marco took my hand. Dulcie, I think we need to talk to an attorney. This has gone too far. I have a cousin who specializes in small business law, Elena offered. She can meet us tomorrow morning. You'd really do that? I asked Marco. Stand up to your mom like that? I should have done it years ago, he said, squeezing my hand. I'm done letting her treat you this way. There's something else you should know, Zoe said hesitantly. I didn't want to add fuel to the fire, but... She pulled out her phone. Vivian's been posting about you on Facebook. The screen showed multiple posts from Vivian, dating back months. Comments about my lack of class, implications that the salon was unsanitary, and most recently, a post with my photo. Would you trust this person with your hair? #unprofessional #corrupt. She has over 300 friends, Zoe noted. Mostly women in her age group, your target demographic. That explains the cancellations last month, I whispered, feeling sick. Marco looked like he'd been punched. I had no idea. We need to document everything, Elena said decisively. The security footage, the voicemails, these posts, and Tara's statement. We're meeting my cousin at 9 tomorrow. What about Sunday dinner? I asked Marco. His jaw tightened. We're not going, and I think it's time I had a serious conversation with my father. Mrs. Alvarez, please explain your actions at the salon, said Catherine Mendez, Elena's cousin and our newly retained attorney. We sat in a conference room at Vivian and Gerald's country club. Vivian, flanked by Gerald and their family attorney, glared across the table at me and Marco. I was simply expressing concern, Vivian insisted. As a mother, it's my job to point out when my son's wife is making poor choices. By poor choices? You mean her hair color? Catherine clarified. The way she runs that salon is embarrassing for our family, Vivian sniffed. Mom, Marco interjected. Dulcie's salon has won Best in County 3 years running. Gerald shifted uncomfortably. Vivian, perhaps you should apologize. Apologize? Vivian looked aghast. I was protecting our family's reputation and Marco's future when he takes over your business. I'm not taking over Dad's business, Marco said firmly. I'm opening my own architectural firm next year. Mrs. Alvarez, Catherine steered us back. We have documented evidence of your deliberate attempts to damage Dulcie's business reputation. Security footage, social media posts, and client statements. You're recording me? Vivian demanded. Security cameras are standard, Catherine noted, as are records of threatening voicemails. I pulled out my phone. May I play one, Catherine? At her nod, I pressed play. Vivian's slurred voice filled the room. Listen to me, you salon trash. I'll make sure everyone in my circle knows exactly what kind of woman he married. Nobody with your background belongs in this family. Gerald's face drained of color. Vivian, tell me you didn't say that. She's taking it out of context, Vivian insisted. There are 17 similar messages, Catherine said. And what about the Facebook posts calling Dulcie corrupt? Public posts aren't private, Mrs. Alvarez, Catherine explained when Vivian protested. And defamatory statements have legal consequences? What exactly do you want? The family attorney asked. A formal retraction, written apologies, removal of all social media posts, and a legally binding agreement that Mrs. Alvarez will cease all harassment, Catherine stated. Or we file suit for defamation and intentional interference with business relationships. Gerald looked tired. Vivian, you've crossed a line. Vivian turned to Marco, tears forming. Marco, darling, everything I've done has been for you. From what, Mom? Marco asked. From the woman I love? From the life I've chosen? I'm sorry if my words hurt you, Vivian said, turning to me. I met her gaze steadily. No, Vivian, you wanted control. There's a difference. As we stepped out for a recess, I squeezed Marco's hand. I'm not accepting her apology. Not this time. All her Facebook posts have been removed, Elena announced 2 weeks after our mediation, and the retraction is on her profile. Any word from Marco's parents? Zoe asked, arranging flowers at the front desk. Gerald calls Marco regularly, I replied. Vivian hasn't spoken to either of us. The bell jingled and Patricia walked in, looking uncertain. Patricia, I greeted her. Do you have an appointment? No, she said. I came about Vivian. She's telling people the retraction was forced, that you threatened her somehow. I'm sorry to hear that, I said, but not surprised. We're not speaking anymore, Patricia admitted. After 32 years of friendship, the things she says about you, about others too, it's not right. She's planning a ladies' luncheon next week, Patricia continued. I think she's going to continue her campaign against you, just more carefully. The door opened again, and Marco entered with Gerald. Dulcie, Marco said. Look who stopped by. Gerald, I said, surprised. Patricia, I didn't expect to see you here. I hope to speak with you privately, Gerald said to me. In the office, Gerald looked uncomfortable before speaking. Vivian is seeing a therapist twice weekly. It was her idea. That's good to hear, I said cautiously. She's been diagnosed with anxiety, he continued. The doctor says it explains some of her behavior, the need for control, the outbursts. It might explain it, I acknowledged, but it doesn't excuse it. No, he agreed. It doesn't. I've enabled her for decades, made excuses. Why the change now? I asked. Because I almost lost my son, Gerald said plainly, and because what she did to you was wrong. Marco joined us. Dad was just telling me about Mom's therapy. She called me yesterday. What did she want? I asked. To apologize, he replied, though it was more, I'm sorry you felt hurt, than a real apology. Patricia mentioned a ladies' luncheon, I told them. Gerald nodded. I've canceled it, and I've spoken to our friends. They know the truth now. He handed me an envelope. Vivian signed this. It's an extended agreement that Catherine helped draft. Inside was essentially a private restraint order. Vivian would not contact me, discuss me with others, or come within 100 feet of the salon for 6 months. This is her handwriting, I noted, surprised. Yes, Gerald confirmed. No lawyers this time. just her acknowledging what needs to happen. After they left, Marco and I sat quietly. "Do you think she'll ever truly change?" I asked. "I don't know," he answered honestly. "But we've changed. We're not letting her behavior slide anymore." I touched the purple ends of my hair. "I'm thinking of trying blue next." Marco grinned. "Blue would look amazing on you." "You know what else would look amazing?" I asked. "A sign announcing Alvarez Architectural next door when that space opens up." "The landlord approved my letter of intent this morning," Marco said. I reached for his hand. "Adjacent businesses run by Mr. and Mrs. Alvarez. What would your mother say?" "Honestly," Marco laughed, "I don't care anymore. What matters is what we build together." I leaned against him, finally feeling the weight lifting. I can live with that. Have you ever stood up to someone who tried to control your life? What did it cost you? And was it worth it? Share your story in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories of people finding their voice.